The more muscle I've built, the more important recovery has become. Hi everyone, I'm Marietta. Welcome back to Bodybuilding Chart Notes. Today's chart note is part 1 of mobility and recovery, focusing on the foundational recovery practices that helped me continue training long term. Subjective. One thing I didn't fully appreciate when I first started bodybuilding was how much body maintenance is actually required to sustain training well. Because bodybuilding is extremely contractile in nature. We spend so much time shortening tissue, loading tissue, accumulating fatigue. And if you're not actively recovering, the body will eventually let you know. Objective. So firstly, regular body work is essential. For me, this includes daily Epsom salt baths, yoga and stretching 1 to 2 times a week, and recovery support supplements like creatine, electrolytes, magnesium bisglycinate. The heat and magnesium salts really significantly help with that general tightness from training. Secondly, and I'm saying this twice, yoga is a non-negotiable for me. I do it every Wednesday and Saturday on my recovery days for an hour. This helps me check in with the areas that might be restricted or irritated, especially in trouble areas like my neck or my thoracolumbar junction. And it often brings awareness to issues that may not actually have been fully on my radar, because lengthening and restoring movement is just as important as strengthening. Thirdly, recovery sometimes does need to be outsourced. I'm fortunate that professionally I can do a lot of my own self-treatment. So that does include like self-massage, even dry needling on myself, or like soft tissue work with like creams like magnesium and P3 and all of that. But there's still situations where I need outside help, especially in my trouble areas like my neck, sometimes cervical neck adjustments I obviously can't do on myself. Assessment. The biggest shift for me was realizing that recovery isn't separate from training. It is part of training. The better I recover, the better I move, the better I train, and ultimately, the longer I can stay healthy in this sport. Plan. So moving forward, I'm going to continue prioritizing structured recovery throughout the week, using yoga and mobility work proactively instead of reactively, and addressing restrictions before they become injuries or compensations. Because longevity in bodybuilding depends as much on recovery as it does on training intensity. Closing reflection. Building muscle is only part of the equation. Maintaining the body underneath it matters just as much. That's today's chart note. I'll see you in part 2.